Clarence Williams bringing you another uh, city of our trip. And last year, 2023, we go to Europe, and I'm going to be sure we have had a great time. We went to about 15 different cities, 6 different countries, and it was just amazing. And as we looked on the map to see how we were going to maneuver and go around, we discovered that we could go through Germany. We can go into Italy by first going into Venice, and then take another bus, and that will take us to Rome. So we're trying to get to Rome, but we are breaking up our trip so we will not be on the bus as long, no more than about 8 hours. So that's how we got to Venice. Excited. I'm so grateful to God that I had this opportunity to go to Venice, because I've been reading a little bit about it, and I've been seeing it on the television and seeing pictures of it, Grand Canal, the main canal in Venice, and it just was amazing to me that something like that existed in the world. And so having an opportunity to go in to see it for myself, exactly how we can show you the pictures concerning Venice and what we did. We left Jacksonville in August, the 15th of August, and we went to London, and then we just kept traveling around. But now we are in Venice, Italy. This is the main bridge. Once you come from the mainland, that I would call the mainland, you're taking a bus from your hotel, because we did not stay in this section of Venice. We stayed what I would call on the mainland, and then we took a bus, and that bus brought us across a long bridge, about a 5-mile long bridge. Once you got there, you parked in the parking area, unload on the bus, and then you cross this bridge. This is the bridge that you walk across going into Venice. This bridge is also taking you across the Grand Canal. You won't really know that until you actually get there and start seeing. Venice is an interesting city. It is very, it's just magnificent to be able to go there and to see it. Now, I pulled this little write-up, and I pulled this picture also off of Google, because I wanted to give you some type of overall view of the city of Venice. It says that it is the capital of the northern Italy, Veneto region, whatever that will mean. But it is built on 100 small islands. Now, I also started reading some more, and then I saw it said it was built in the 5th century, and it also 118 islands. So I'm pretty sure it's in that area, depending on who you're reading about. But it is an extraordinary city, extraordinary architectural. It's a masterpiece of architecture. And when you're going down the Grand Canal, you're looking at these buildings on both sides. And I'm telling you, they call it a renaissance. Renaissance simply means that it is changing from one culture, one setting to another culture, or to a modern country, a modern culture. That's Renaissance. That's what that means. but beautiful buildings, Gothic type buildings on both sides, and it's just amazing. And all you see while you're going on that boat, or you can walk on the sidewalk. You know, there's sidewalks on both sides of the canal where you can walk, go into the different buildings and everything. And then this is a map here that just shows you of the different communities. Yes, different there on the island. I guess you call it an island of Venice. Yeah, it's beautiful. San Marco is the main community there. Castello is another one of the communities. San Polo, another community, and you can see all the rest of them there. But look at the S shape of the canal. It just winds around and winds around, and then it opens up into the basin of San Marco. That's a little small area down at the bottom, and then it opens all the way up into the Adriatic Sea. Just a beautiful, beautiful place, and I'm so fortunate with God that I was able to go. Now, this picture here shows you a little bit more of the defining of the communities. You know, when you're on the Grand Canal and you're going through, all you see are the buildings. You see the building, and every now and then you will see in between the buildings little canals going down in between the buildings. We even saw, I'm pretty sure, a resident with his or her boat, and they were going down through the side through the buildings, because all the buildings are not connected. You can go down through buildings, and I'm pretty sure they were going back in there to their homes. It's just amazing living on. Can you imagine that, living on on all of this water? Now, this is another side of the bridge, the main bridge going over into Venice. This is the five miles that I was talking about. When you're coming from, I would say, the mainland, and you're going into Venice, where all that water is at, you have to cross this particular bridge. It also has trains that'll go take you across the particular bridge, and once you get there, you can see in a distance the buildings. In fact, you see that little green thing right in front of us. That is the large church that is sit there. That could be the Basilica of Santa Maria. It could be another large church that is there, but you see where you are going when you are traveling, going in that area. Now, this is one of the main bridges, Ponte di Riso. This is one of the main bridges that goes across the Grand Canal. This right here is a very, they would call it a landmark of Venice. It says about 24 feet arch, and it's built up on approximately 12 pylons. And they say that bridge has been there for over 400 years on those wood pylons. Very beautiful, very beautiful. And I can show you some more pictures of it. And it looks like it's enclosed. It is. It's enclosed in it. Just a beautiful, beautiful structure doing that. And then you have the San Toma. This is a church. We was just on this, I would call it a taxi boat. And you will going down the Grand Canal. And as you're going down it, you're looking at different buildings and different churches and what have you. And it's just so beautiful going down there. The Santa. This is another church. You're still going down the Grand Canal, and you're looking at all of the different buildings. And as I was seeing them, I was taking pictures of different ones. Sandstar is another church that's down that line. And then it also says that it began in the 11th century. I'm talking about old stuff, but it's still there. It says it was renovated or reconstructed in the 17th century. Just old stuff in there. This is on one of the, I would call, taxi boats. Now you can get on this particular boat, and you can get off and on as you go now. You can get off and on. And this was, I would think, the main transportation for people that lives in these different communities. They just get off and on whenever they wish to, and go. And if you look up at the board, it gives you the different places where you can get off, where this particular boat, these boats, dock, and you can get off, you get back on, you get off, and they have so many of these boats now. You don't have to sit there a long time and wait on them to come. They just keep coming, you keep getting off, getting back on, going. And then you also have I think it's coming. But you also have other boats that are not so much as the taxi boats. You have private owners that have their own boats. This may be a private owner that is docked right at San Marco, which is one of the main communities of Venice. Now look at all of this water. Basilica of Santa Maria. All of this water, and water is just everywhere. Everywhere you turn, water. This is another boat. I've seen a lot of these boats. I'm pretty sure they are maybe private owned, but they are all up and down this particular river. You have about 3 or 4 different types of boats. You have the gondola, which is going to be, that's just a little romantic type boat where you see where you have the standing in the back, and he has the paddle, and loved ones are sitting in there. That's the gondola. You're going to see that. Then you also have the commercial type. Now that was a commercial type, the gondola. But you also have the private boats. You have little bitty boats that just, privately owned, residents own them. Then you have this type of boat right here. Large boats could be still residents owned. And then you're going to have a larger boat that is more commercialized, where they have tourists on the boats and they just travel up and down. And then you have the taxis type that I would call taxis that we were getting on going from one place to the other. Look at all the water. And then you see all the boats that just going up and down the river. I also read where it says that they monitor the boats, the speed of the boats. You have a certain speed that you're required to go. So you can't be, going fast up and down the Grand Canal. You have to take your time and everything. And I'm pretty sure there's another reason why, because you have all of this water, and then you have buildings on both sides. So if you are flying down through there, you are throwing waves everywhere, and then the water is turbulent. And so it's a good idea to go there. But look at all of this, just water everywhere. This is a selfie that I've taken, and I've told you when we were coming in, we was on that 5-mile bridge coming in, and I was telling you to look in the distance, and you're going to see people with that church. That's what you were seeing right there, way back in the distance. but you were seeing it while we were coming in. Another picture of me waving, and I'm pretty sure Sister Claire is taking a picture. You can also see the sidewalk now, and that is on both sides. And then from that sidewalk, then you have all of these different buildings, different stores, just like a regular, sidewalk in a city. It just so happened it's sitting all up on all of this water. And now you see just in that little lower section there, you see a boat that we were on, that taxi going up and down. But look, as far as you can see, 2.4 miles. That's the length of the Grand Canal, 2.4 miles. And they still are doing construction now. How did they do construction? On barges? The crane goes out there and get on those barges, and then the people actually works off the barges doing construction or doing renovation or something to all of these buildings. But regardless of what you do, you will not ever just get in go somewhere else, because that's all you have is water. This is a taxi. This is a taxi. Now we are on one and we are passing another one going in another direction. And they just keep stopping along the way, different docks where they stop, let people off, let people back on. And they just keep on going. Look at that. Just water everywhere. Another picture, Sister Claire, taken of me, and you can look in the background and see different types of boats just going down the river. This is a little small boat. And then you also see umbrellas. So at this particular time, it was, raining. It wasn't raining hard, but it was raining. But they were still out there on this water. Look at all the water. Regardless of what, that's a gondola. That's a gondola. And then even on the gondola, look at the people up under the umbrellas, and this guy is still, taking them around. I don't know how much it costs to get on the gondola. This is a gondola now going up under the bridge. People still, they have their umbrella and what have you. But it is just amazing. Just amazing. Look how long that is. 2.4 miles. Just beautiful. And then on the side, you run across a restaurant. You run across a little boat dock where people, they're docking their boats or what have you. But it's all right there. Right there. That's almost like a dock where you have construction going on there at that area there. But it's just so much. And the main thing what we did, we just got on the taxi boat, and the taxi boat just all the way down and brought us back in one or two stores. Didn't know too about the communities that were behind all of these buildings where people actually live. We didn't know anything about that. Didn't know anything really about San Marco and the basilica of that large churches and things that was back in it. Didn't know anything about that. I found out about it after I started reading about it and preparing this particular video of Venice. Now you're at the end of the Grand Canal, and it opens up in what they call a basin of San Marco, a little area of the land of the water. They call the basins of San Marco. And we are there now, but we're going to go all the way across this great body of water. And it opens into Adriatic Sea. If you get a map of Venice, you'll see it, the Adriatic Sea. And this is what we are going flowing across. And I'm telling you, tons of water. Looking over now and seeing this is San Marcos Square, and then the Dog Palace. One on one edge of this picture, and the other is on the other edge of this picture. This is San Marcos Square. They call it just the plaza. Now we are on the water on the Grand Canal, but if we had gotten off of that and at San Marco and walked behind all of those buildings, we would have been right to that particular square where you're seeing the picture right now. But not knowing, we didn't know. This is again looking at it from the water, the Adriatic Sea. We're looking at it. This is it's amazing to me again, how could they build something like that on all of that water? You have over 100, one article said 118 small islands, and they call it a lagoon that is in the Adriatic Sea, and that's what San Marco is built upon. They have a unique pumping system to make sure that that water does not rise and comes over those sidewalks and goes into those stores. Now, I also read that at one time that water did go over, but those pumps are designed to continuously pump that water that it does not overflow into those particular. And then you have the traffic speed limit that are going down through there, and then you also limit the amount of boats that can go down through there at any given time. So all of that is designed to work together to make sure that they minimize the waves of the water overflowing. This is the Dog Palace. It says that it was the resident of the dogs, which was the ruler of Venice. It also housed the political bodies of the state. It housed all of these, kind of like the government was housed. This is beautiful. Now, this is another picture that I pulled off of the internet, because when I looked at here, you can see it on my right side, that kind of tall area, that's the Dog Palace. Well, we didn't have an opportunity to go in there. And so I started thinking, well, what is Dog Palace? And so I did my Google again, and this is what I came up with. But it's beautiful, I'm pretty sure. It was administrative offices, courtyards, grand stairway, ballrooms, and then he also said it has a prison. It had a prison down on the ground floor. Another pictures. This is another bridge that is going over the Grand Canyon, and this one you just it's not like the Rialto. It is open, whereas the other one was closed in. You can see the boats just docked along the side, private owners or commercial owners, what have you, and people just come out. They no boats. There's no roads. You don't drive cars. Everywhere you go, you're going on a boat or you are walking on the sidewalk. You see two different. You see the kind of the taxi boat, and then you see a gondola. all going in the same direction or going in a different direction. I noticed some things about the water. Water has a highway, and those people that ride the boats, own the boats, they know how to stay in their lanes. Even in Jacksonville, you go to different the intercoastal waterway, and you see boats out there, and then you see those large ships coming in. They know their lanes, and I'm pretty sure you have to learn that if you're going to navigate uh, a boat on the water. Get in the wrong lane, you might mess around and bump into somebody. It's kind of like a car, you know. Still looking at these buildings, beautiful building. This is Sister Claire. We are out in the Adriatic Sea right now, still on that boat. And Sister Claire, I was taking a picture of her. Another beautiful place. Now this is a history museum that has that little sign on it. I have a closer picture of it, like that. That's a museum. We didn't go in it, but that is a museum, and I'm pretty sure it has some beautiful stuff inside that museum. Looking down the Grand Canal boat, you know, coming through, just coming through. This is the end of our trip. This was done on August the 28th. August the 28th, 2023. Now, we were in Amsterdam, and we decided we was going to go to Rome. Well, in order to get to Rome, driving or riding on the bus, going to take us a long time, over 24 hours on that bus. And so we decided we was going to break it up. And so we went from Amsterdam, we went to Frankfurt, we went into Germany, Frankfurt, Munich, and then Venice, trying to get to Rome. But we were able to see 3 different cities because we were picking up that time of riding on that bus, and we were able to just stay on a bus no more than 8 hours at the most, get to 3 days there, get to Munich 3 days,